So it's recording now. I'm gonna look at the screen if you don't mind just looking at the camera.
Okay.
And if you don't mind starting, just say and spell your name as well as your title and where we are today.
Okay. My name is Adelle Thompson. Adelle. Thompson is Thompson, and I'm the intake coordinator here.
Awesome. So we're going to all 14 clinics and having our Listen, Learn, Lead Together tour. We just got out of our staff meeting with Dr. Hassan. I was hoping you could tell me some of what you heard during the meeting, if anything stuck out to you or struck a chord with you, or something new you might have learned.
Okay, so yeah, the one thing, the main pattern and theme that stuck out is something that we're all very well aware of and displeased with. Basically a good and a bad problem to have, not so much for our clients, but there's such a high demand for services, and we don't like that we have a very long wait list right now, because we've exceeded our goals of how many clients to serve. Which isn't surprising because we're right next to a military base, so there's a lot of need there. It's also representation of the great work that we're doing, so that's why I say it's kind of a good problem to have. And we're very intentional about hiring, very well qualified staff to meet the demand, not just hurry up and get someone in so we could see more clients. So that was pretty much the overall theme that stuck out to me. One thing I didn't know or wasn't very well aware of is that even though we're the 12th CVN clinic now,
Yes.
that we're not. One thing that I didn't realize is that a lot of people aren't feeling very connected to the other CVN clinics and branches, and so that was definitely identified as something that needs to be changed.
Do you remember any of the ideas that were brought up on how we could probably alleviate that and find a better way to connect to other clinics?
Mm-hmm. So one of the ideas was to ensure that Dr. Hassan is maybe bringing back to leadership to reinforce that people are utilizing this tool, the CVN website, the portal. It was designed for sharing resources and offering and lending help. But just noticing that even though some of us may have used that, we're not really getting a lot of usefulness out of or responsiveness out of. So I know that was one thing he wanted to bring back to the drawing board and see in what ways we can improve in that area. Another idea was maybe finding a way to have some point of contacts for same business lines, like so intake coordinators know all the other intake, how to get a hold of or in touch with other intake coordinators if they want to ask questions about processes and how they're handling certain situations. Same with clinicians. There's often not a lot of time in between sessions for them to do that. But if they have maybe point of contacts, same with the front desk staff, they often feel kind of left out and not sure who to go to. And so having a list of point of contacts or a single point of contact for a department from each CVN clinic might be helpful as well, like an email address or something.
Yeah. We took notes on all of those, yeah. So it's been really, really helpful. On a positive note, also as the intake coordinator here, as you said, and kind of going at it alone, obviously you've had your hands full. Clearly, can you speak to like what you do specifically and what's made you so successful in that role, either as a suggestion to other intake coordinators or to the network as a whole, or ways that you would suggest making it better? I know it's kind of a lot.
Sure. So I've been here for 3 months, and at first it was a little sticky, but I've definitely come up with my own script and streamlined how I talk to people. I'm the first person that they talk to when they're wanting to gain access to services here. So I'm really intentional about first right out the gate, just letting them know that we do have a wait list, and offering them other suggestions of how they can receive care while they're waiting, which is, we've gotten creative with, hey, we've got these groups, and explaining them and then getting them registered if they'd like that. That's been a big hit now that we have some regularly ongoing groups. And also, aside from the waitlist and how else we might be able to accommodate them through case management, a referral to case management or groups, is also just making sure that they understand our model of care, so that there's clear expectations right out the gate that, we're intended to be brief therapy for the most part. Case by case, we can see if it's clinically relevant to go past that, but just explaining our model of care, who we serve, and why, has been really important right out the gate. And then I explain, my role here and what they can kind of expect. Hey, I'm going to spend about 10-15 minutes with you on the phone, or you can come in and I ask you a series of 27 questions just to get a better initial idea of what you're experiencing, to make sure that we get you the best fit clinician possible to meet your needs.
That's excellent. And you had mentioned moving them over to case management. I think Dr. Hassan, as well as we were all kind of surprised at how large a role case management plays. It was kind of unclear before, but we're seeing now that they wear so many hats, and especially in a clinic such as this, how important that is. So do you work very closely with case management?
I do, yes. Miriam and I are often, talking back and forth about how to best, streamline our referral processes and making sure that I send her people, that need help and exactly what they need help with, and she follows up with them and either schedules them to talk on the phone or come in to meet with her. Yeah.
Awesome. We're going a little long. I'm sorry, but you're giving me such great information.
Okay.
One last thing would be, Dr. Son had actually asked it in the meeting, but what your big reason for CVN was, why, since you're relatively new, why CVN for you, and why do you continue to stay?
So previously in my work, I have been a clinical case manager or behavioral health care coordinator, working in community mental health or for a health insurance plan. But this just hit the nail right on the head because I'm also a veteran. I'm a 18-year Navy veteran with some active duty, 9 years active and still serving in the reserve. So it's just close to home for me. I have spent my whole career so far, my adult career, serving in the military, and so this just felt like it made sense to be able to give back, to understand the culture and the barriers and challenges that they face. Is really just, I'm very passionate about being a part of the military culture because I understand it very well, and I love representing the fact that the CVN clinic does everything that they can to reduce barriers to accessing care, which that's almost unheard of. It doesn't matter if you are a veteran with a dishonorable discharge, no matter your discharge status. That really spoke to me. And that if you don't have insurance, that doesn't matter either. I just feel like I couldn't be happier to represent a place like this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better way to end. Did you have anything else you'd like to say?
No.